Hey, it says we're live. Are we live? I don't know. Do I care? Probably not. Anyway, welcome to This Week Unloaded. Tonight we have with us Jason Stewart. How are you tonight?
I'm sleepy, Rich. Wake me up before the show's over. Thanks for the invite.
Yep. Next we have Mystic Guns, aka Stacy, who's having her avatar and name messed with by the gun snob.
Hey, I was having fun.
No, it wasn't me. That
Oh,
was
wasn't
her
you
this
this
time.
time? He's
It
been
was
doing
me.
that to her the whole pre-chat, folks. So I mean, how you two tonight? Since there's two of you.
Well, Snob's next to me, so I'm not very well. I can't speak for him.
Yeah.
Well, he's doing excellent because he's near his wife, but I'm not.
What? I stepped away to blow my nose, and really, you go off like this on me?
Mm-hmm. All right. Next, we got the guy that's up there in New York. He might be some kind of outcast or something. How are you tonight?
Doing well. Thanks for having me. And thanks, Snob there for helping me out with that logo there pre-chat. So it's only been a year and change.
Yeah, somebody eventually will get around to it. I mean,
You're welcome.
FedEx, they'll eventually get your delivery to you. You never know when, but they'll eventually get it to you.
Can't be raining.
I'm waiting on a box full of steaks next.
That's between the two of you. I can't help you there. But let's see, who do we got out there in the YouTube chat? So we got Buck out there. Did I send him a link? Christ, I don't remember. He might have been who I forgot. I always forget somebody.
As long as you always remember me, which you do.
It's hard to forget you, trust me.
Yeah, I'll never forget what's her name.
I've been trying to forget her for.
I still have the taser next to me. Keep it up.
Okay. I corrected that little oversight. If I did forget to send him one, I just didn't have to. So now he's got two links if I didn't. One if I did. So who's got something they want to talk about? I don't know what the hell to talk about.
Did you hear the election was rigged?
You don't say. Man.
Yeah, I heard some people talking about it.
Yeah. Apparently, the Alito gave Pennsylvania an ultimatum to respond by the 8th to the lawsuit to stop their votes from being certified to the Supreme Court. They got to the 8th to answer that challenge. I think it's 9 a.m. on the 8th.
I heard High Point's got a new gun coming out. So does PSA.
Mm-hmm. But here's the thing, right? If Pennsylvania doesn't answer the challenge by when Alito told them to the Supreme Court, Pennsylvania risks having their 20 electoral votes not be counted. As it stands right now, according to the numbers anyway, Biden won Pennsylvania. That'll be 20 less electoral college votes for Biden if that happens. Not saying that's enough to keep him.
Yeah, but we need that 20 not to just be gone. We need it to go to Trump.
Well, no. If that goes away and he loses, I think, 11 more, something like that, from one of the other states, neither one of them will be able to hit 270. It then goes to the House of Representatives. The way the House of Representatives votes is by state. And each state gets one vote. Their combined Congress people gets in there. They decide who they're going to vote for, and then they vote. One vote per state. There are more red states than blue states. So if everything were to hold up and that were to be what ends up happening, Trump should win in the House. Wow, that killed the chat.
I was just soaking in all the information. It's all new to me. Yeah, actually, that makes me feel a lot better because I don't like that Biden guy. I don't trust him.
How can you trust a guy that just about breaks his ankle playing with his dog? I mean, come on.
I'm told he's got a day camp for young kids.
Yeah, I just don't want him near any kids.
You don't want his son near any kids either.
Well, don't worry. There's security for his security, apparently.
Oh, I think the kids are fine. They're on the other side of the internet.
Oh no, there's apparently some really nasty pictures with Hunter Biden and Hunter Biden's niece on that laptop that the FBI has.
There's no proof of that. Not one bit of proof of that.
I heard it was so juicy they just sat on it and kept it for themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got some really naughty FBI agents over there sitting in a closet somewhere with that laptop. Is that what you're getting at there, Rob?
Yeah, something like that.
That accidentally got its hard drive erased in the evidence locker.
No, that would only apply to Hillary. They're out there using it for their own entertainment purposes. No, Pat's out there now too. Pat's got a link. I know I sent him one.
You think?
No, I know I sent him one. I just couldn't remember if I sent one to Buck or not. My brain's not fully functional tonight.
Is it ever?
On occasion, it is, yes.
Mine isn't.
I think part of it's watching Tracy Scotsman's chat earlier, but we were already talking about that in the pre-chat.
I live a snob, so that tells you a lot. Looks a little, white.
Are you racist against
That's
white?
Caucasian. You got a problem with a white tree?
Yeah, she's racist against white trees.
It's
Apparently,
supposed to be green.
I like white stuff.
Merry Christmas.
the white's supposed to represent snow.
It didn't look like snow.
There are better ones that look like snow. But that's what's supposed to represent.
I don't know how Rob can stand for this.
Of course,
Do you
there's
get-
also you do know there's the blue spruce, right, which has a blue tinge to it. It's not green.
Yeah, but that's okay.
Okay.
Rob, you got the Santa Cam ornament?
No.
You know what that is?
No.
Yeah, man. You can get an ornament, a Christmas tree bulb, and it looks like it's got a little camera lens on it, and it's Santa Cam, and you put your kid's name on it, and it's the camera, so Santa knows if they've been good or bad.
So you got the Santa Cam and the Elf on the Shelf doing the same thing.
Ah.
man.
They're watching you, man. These kids better
you're
keep
making
it in
kids
line.
paranoid, Jason. I mean, Jesus Christ.
I wish they had the Elf on the Shelf when my kids were little. I'm still thinking about getting one anyway, just so I can take pictures with it doing stupid crap.
Oh man.
The Elf on the Shelf is creepy.
Yeah, I was watching his education, Tyler's Edge channel earlier with he doing his usual Sunday video, the laugh when you lose thing. He had a meme on there it said for parents, whenever you get empty boxes, unwrap them in wrapping paper and put them underneath your tree. Every time your kid misbehaves, throw one of them into the fire.
Yeah, I seen that.
See, I always just reinforce the corners and everything with tape, so you can't pull that little trick where you kind of peel the corners.
You
Or
dirty, rotten son of
we've double wrapped as well, so that way you can't tell.
I always,
You know,
I always got
famous for like throwing something in like an old new coffee maker box or something. So yeah, so if you do peek, you're like, what the hell? Yeah.
I got busted for unwrapping presents when I was a little kid, but I didn't do a very good job wrapping them back. And my mom's really, really particular about how she wraps stuff.
Yeah, apparently I didn't send.
I got a
Pat,
professional rapper too.
yeah, apparently I didn't send Pat his link. He sent it to himself, so we're all good.
Well, one year, Snob had me a Christmas present under the tree, and I'm home alone all day. The kids are in school, he's at work. So I kind of unwrapped it, kind of looked at it and seen what it was, and wrapped it back up. He never knew. It wasn't like a year later that I told him I actually knew what it was.
Therefore, she no longer gets Christmas presents under the tree.
I'm a little sneakier than him or the kids are. One of the daughters did it one year, and they wouldn't admit who did it, and I already knew who did it, but she wouldn't admit to it. So I packed up the whole Christmas tree and put it up, and it stayed put up for till Snob got home, and he's like, "Why's the Christmas tree put up?"
Yeah, we don't got our tree up yet.
So we always cheated. We'd have a few gifts out, and obviously we knew exactly what they were. And then as it got closer, like Christmas Eve or something, we'd usually like, all right, give in and let them open one. But we already knew what exactly, was there, and basically made side bets which one they were going to go for by what they wanted and stuff, and it was always entertaining. And then, actual Christmas, then, of course, Santa drops off all the good stuff. So that's all stashed away any damn way. And they didn't even realize it was coming. Well, they do, but they don't. So,
well, my teenagers gave me a good idea this year that I'm going to do, and it vetoes name tags, is that each child has their own wrapping paper. You wrap all the gifts at once. And then you don't tell them which one is theirs. So they have no clue which wrapping paper is theirs. So they don't know which one to try and open or which one to shake or.
Yeah, well, they shake them all. They
Yeah.
go through and they
They don't care if their name tag on it or not. Whenever they were little, they still shook them. And it's like Legos. It's like, how the crap do you know that's Legos in 2 seconds?
Squib wants to know if Mosin will fit underneath a Christmas tree. It will if you get a Keystone Mini Mosin.
Get an extra long stocking.
Depends on the size of your Christmas tree and whether you got a full-size Mosin or an M44 or an M53.
If you're really creative, you make the Mosin itself the Christmas tree trunk.
There you go.
Yeah, I say I got a countertop Christmas tree, man. So like a Mosin is like 3 times as tall as my Christmas tree.
So stick it in the corner and put a lampshade on it.
If we have one at all.
I'm going to Hobby Lobby and get one of those pre-decorated, pre-lit ones that you just plug in.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, we got a pre-lit one, but the lights on it don't work no more. So we gotta put.
I think if you have young kids, you should take the time, even if you live in a city or something, go out to a tree farm, cut it yourself, pick it out. It's a blast with kids. So it's, a lot of times you can bring sleds, go sledding, you can have a real good time with that. So used to always get live trees. They're actually, in my opinion, pretty affordable, especially if you don't buy them at like a city lot somewhere.
Yeah, we couldn't do that.
Makes a great day.
Way to kill nature, Rob. Happy holidays.
Hey man, they plant. I'm sure they plant 2 for everyone, but anyway,
Yeah, we couldn't do that because of my daughter's asthma. The pine took her asthma off. So
I mean, you got to check the water and all that. Yeah, blah blah blah. But the smell and everything is so much better, and it's a actual real experience and becomes a look forward tradition. When you get old and lazy, then buy the one you pull out from the closet.
Didn't scientists prove that trees feel pain and they scream like when you break one of their limbs or something.
Yeah, whatever.
Only if you're on acid.
Squib says he likes the long stocking idea. Yeah, you get one. You get a rifle sock and hang that on your chimney. Stick the Mosin right down inside it.
They don't do Christmas in Russia, do they?
Well, you can
Do they?
probably get.
Yeah.
Sorry, you probably get those candy cane striped stockings for the girls. I know, you might feel a little funny buying them, but that might work as a stocking for the Mosin.
Yeah, they do Russian Orthodox Christmas, which is a couple weeks after ours.
I was gonna say, man, if you got the Mosin out with the Christmas tree, man, Santa might get pissed. Say you don't get nothing, commie.
Well, Mother Russia, doesn't everybody get the same exact thing?
But that was in Soviet Russia. Mother Russia, nobody could afford anything either, technically.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they all get the same lump of coal.
Yeah. They'll get the same paper doll.
Small town I grew up in, we had like an Ames and a Jamesway, so basically every kid pretty much had the same stuff. It was pretty sad the first day of school.
In Russia, it's not that they get a paper doll; they get the doll that's inside the doll. It's inside the doll. It's inside the doll. It's inside the doll.
Oh, good point.
Greetings, all.
Hello.
Hey, Pat.
Hey, Pat.
I walked in,
Okay.
somebody was talking about putting a Mosin up as a tree, and I think that's a really good idea because then you could take the 91 and just fix the bayonet to it and then put your tree topper on top of it. That'd make for a pretty tall Christmas tree, really.
You know, and you know, Moo is out there. Moo has a link too. I mean, he's being lazy too. I mean, you got people out there that got links and aren't even using them. But Squib says he'd rather put lights on a Christmas cactus, so he wants to be like Snoopy's brother Spike, apparently.
Ooh, I forgot about Spike.
Man, my neighbors put up outdoor lights, and you know what color they are? Flashing red and blue. I come driving home, and I thought the cops was out front of my house.
That's funny.
That's why they put them up in your neighborhood to keep
This-
people out.
Seriously, you know, I like the multicolored lights. You know, you got the greens and the reds and the blue and all that. No, this was red and blue, and they bounce back and forth.
Yep, I've seen
Lights
that
up the
before.
old snow in the yard and the house sides and everything. I was like, yeah, I don't know. I'm like eighth of a mile down the street, and I'm looking up there and I said, is that the cops got their lights on? And I get closer and I said, oh man, that's out front. And I get all the way up there, and it's the neighbor's house across the street.
Yeah, I've seen that before. It's like you couldn't throw a green bulb in every so often. It's all red and blue, and he's not exaggerating. That's what it looks like at night. If your neighbors got their lights up like that, and you're just walking down the street or driving down the street, it looks like the police are at somebody's house up ahead.
Yeah, it just like it flashes like on there, like one side it like flashes the left all red, and then that shuts off, and it flashes the other side all blue, and you know it does. It just bounces back and forth. Like I said, I seen it all the way down the road. I was like, huh, what the hell are the cops doing here?
Could be a good thing. You never know. Yeah,
I knew it wasn't my
in the
house
neighborhood.
because if the cops come to my house, they ain't no way they're gonna use their lights.
Criminals driving around the neighborhood see those lights, they'll probably avoid that block.
No,
Cops come to my house, man, they're gonna take ropes and jump off the roof and come in through the picture windows and
Be like Christmas.
ramming my front door down with a spike. Yeah, they're not gonna pull up, turn the lights on.
yeah, Jason's going to get swatted.
We need to watch that movie. It's that time of year.
We watch it every year.
One of the best Christmas movies ever made is that movie. I just had to watch the rant part today on, and I had forgotten. I about busted the gut laughing.
What movie is it?
Christmas Vacation.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's yeah.
And Squib just
Yeah,
might be Spike. Squib might just be Spike. He's out there saying he's been to Needles, California. He wants to decorate a cactus. He might just be Snoopy's brother, Spike. He's wearing a man suit. He's wearing a Squib suit. You know, like Edgar was. You know, the bug was wearing an Edgar suit. Damn, I'm tired. So if I make corny jokes, that's why. But, anyway, my wife just saw the other day the Rudolph dub where they got Arlie Army as Drill Sergeant Hartman voice
Yeah.
the head elf
Uh-huh.
from Rudolph. She
Full
was
Metal
laughing.
Rudolph. That is hilarious. Doesn't that match up really well?
She's like, oh my god. She's sitting there. She's just sitting there laughing her ass off.
Did you find it on YouTube?
Somebody sent it to her. And she
There's
watched
like
it on her phone.
there's like a couple different versions of it, but they're all pretty similar. Most of them you'll go look, you'll find are kind of like the shortened version, but there's one that's pretty long. It'd be like 5 minutes or something. Yeah, it goes through like everything from Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah, Squib's all butthurt. Guy says drill sergeant instead of drill instructor. Right? You keep your Marine things to yourself, and I'll keep my Army things to myself, and we'll all be happy then.
Doesn't matter. Same thing.
Yeah, basically.
Are all drill instructor sergeants?
I don't know.
I don't know how it works in the Marines. My brother
See,
said
then they all wouldn't be drill sergeants if they're not all rank a sergeant.
he's like not even close. Yeah, they're the same thing. They do the same job. Squib just doesn't want to admit it because he wants the Marines to be special.
You know, there's a question I have, not to, pick on anybody, but why do we have the Marines?
They're the Navy's infantry.
Okay, well, see, why do we have? I understand, you have the Air Force because they got planes, and then you got the Navy because they got their boats. But how come everything else isn't just Army? I mean, why do you need the Marines when you could just use the Army? Doesn't that sound like complicating things too much? Too many stuff?
No, because the Army gets seasick.
Yeah, they do things quite a bit differently as well. But different areas, some areas kind of cross train where they do the same jobs in a sense, but most are kind of focus and train on one area more than another. So depending on what it is, and the branches kind of, they do a lot. Navy is not just a boat in a sense, or whatever the case is. So that's how it may be referred, but I'm sure Squib would argue that fact. But they're not just a ride, although a lot of people will say that. But I guess that's the best way I can say it. A lot of them kind of crossbreed, but some specialize highly differently than others.
Yeah, but like,
My knowledge or
if the
breakdown.
Marines didn't exist, the Army would be doing the same job, right? I mean, if it's not from an airplane or it ain't from a boat, why isn't it just the Army? I mean,
Well,
why did they create the Marines in the first place?
Okay.
I guess.
When Marines were originally created, not necessarily the United States Marines, but when they were first created, the point of the Marines was to do the fighting on the shipboard fighting, and then they would also be to fight on land from the ship if necessary. The Army doesn't get that kind of training. There is special training and techniques that go into beach landings and stuff that the Army doesn't train in. The Marines do. That's the whole thing. The Marines were always supposed to work hand in hand with the Navy, no matter what country it was. That was their job. You look at the Royal Marines, you look at the United States Marines, you go with any other country that has a Marine Corps. That's what they do. They work with their Navy. The Army doesn't do that. They don't train to work hand in hand with the Navy all the time like the Marines do.
Okay. Well, what about the Air Force? Do we even use them anymore?
Well, the Air Force used to be part of the Army, and then they branched them off after World War II.
I mean, when we're over in the Middle East, isn't like most everything coming off of aircraft carriers?
No, not everything. The Air Force does more than fly planes. The Air Force, believe it or not, has the smallest number of operational fighter or operational aircraft out of all the branches of the military.
Well, what about Space Force? What do they got?
They got a pad of paper and a desk somewhere. Yeah, the Army and the Navy both have larger complement of aircraft than what the Air Force does. The Air Force does a lot of different things. They do they fly planes, obviously, but they also are in charge of intercontinental missiles. When you see the drones flying and launching the attacks on different areas, that's done by the Air Force. And
Oh, so the Air Force has the nukes.
Yeah.
The Army and the Navy
The
don't
Navy-
have nukes. Well, the
the
Navy's got
Navy has
nukes, don't they?
submarine- Yeah,
Yeah.
the Navy has submarine-based nukes, and probably some missile cruiser ones as well. They probably have some nuclear-based tomahawks on missile cruisers.
It's not fair, man. I feel infringed. I want a nuke, and I don't want to pay a tax stamp either.
Well, the Army used to have nukes. Remember, I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen this before. They had the nuclear gun.
Yeah, well, there's tactical.
Oh yeah,
That
the
they could-
howitzer that shot a
Yeah,
nuclear.
There's tactical nuke. Yeah,
Yep.
there's tactical nuclear weapons. I'm talking about the big boys, the ones that launch up into
Right.
orbit and then drop down 9 separate warheads on you.
And did that cannon have a flaw like it shoots a little nuclear bomb, but you're not safe enough distance away to actually use it?
Well, tactical nukes are short distance fallout. They're not going to create the
Yep.
massive fallout like what you're thinking from your typical nuclear bomb, like you would see being dropped from an aircraft or from one of the missiles. They're limited range.
Right, but they had a big enough one at one point in time, and that's the whole reason that the thing got scrapped is because they couldn't get far enough away depending on wind.
Yeah, but you might have a fallout area with a tactical nuke that'll 5 miles radius from the area of effect, maybe a little bit bigger than that. If you get a really strong wind, like what Pat was saying, you would have farther. That's why you have nuclear fallout from testing in Nevada in the state of Utah, because it got into the wind and the wind just carried it.
That sounds like that'll work for me. Where do you get one of those? Just for hunting or whatever.
They're not exactly legal for you to own. I wonder if you could get a tax stamp as a destructive device. That would be interesting to see somebody try.
Yeah, I just wanted to use it for deer hunting. I was gonna
Well,
get
yeah,
them
you
and cook
kill
them all
every
in
deer
one
in the
shot.
forest. Yeah, you kill every deer in the forest. You can do anything once, right?
It's starting to sound like the Yoopers song where I couldn't get to my grenades. Yeah, right. The howitzer was in the shop.
Oh my lord! Only Jason would come up with using a tactical nuke for deer hunting. Yeah,
I just try to be as efficient as I can. I
Hey.
don't have much spare time.
if Squib would have had a tactical nuke, he wouldn't have had a Magnum. Just saying.
Wouldn't that spoil the meat?
Would the
Nuke
deer
meat.
have been well done then? I mean, he would.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and he would have got more than one too. I mean, he would have got more than
Might
one
have been
deer
beef
out there.
jerky. Yeah. Or deer jerky, sorry.
Yeah. Oh yeah, already made deer jerky.
Wouldn't have to worry about skinning it either.
Deer jerky, turkey jerky, squirrel jerky, rabbit jerky. Anything else that was in that immediate area jerky? Yeah. It's a win-win, right? As long as
Can
you
we
like
put,
jerky.
can we put Snob in that area?
Ouch.
And just for the record, that deer and squib had previous issues, so there's a a little story behind that. So
you're saying this could be gang related?
well, I'm just saying, the deer wasn't innocent.
Yeah, what do you do? Look at it twice?
You looked a Marine in the eyes, Jason.
I am not at liberty to discuss it, but all I can say is, things aren't always as they seem.
Sounds like that deer was asking for it, man.
Oh Lord. Yep, this is one of those shows, folks. Bernie says most deer are looking for trouble. He's not wrong.
Yeah, that's why you got to shoot him 5 times.
More than that, man. He shot him with, what was it, 308, and then
Teach him a lesson.
Mag dumped a 45
Or get hit by a car?
in 1911, if I remember right. Yeah. No. They hit you. You don't hit them. At least around here. They'll freaking goddamn T-bone your ass.
That's
You're
the
going down
same
the
in
road.
New York. They will run right up into the side of your car and just like bam and kick your whole fender up, and you're like, "What the hell?" You feel like complaining because your car just got assaulted by a deer, and there's nothing you can do.
You saw the pictures I took when my wife had her car hit for the first time by one, didn't you?
I believe so. I know my Honda, before I got it, there was the slightest little wrinkle in the side, and that's what happened to it from the guy that I purchased it from. So,
My buddy,
very common.
a couple years ago, got his patrol Tahoe hit by one. A deer came running up out of the side and hit the side of it. So he had to type up a report because it left a dent in his patrol car. So he had to type up a report to his supervisor just to have it on file. So he types this stupid, hilarious report, and he sent it to Sarge even. Sarge was going to read it to his guys. I forgot how he worded it, but it's like after his car was, hit, I forgot how the assailant attempted to flee the scene, and after short chase, he said that he gave up because he's clearly not in as good a shape as the assailant with 4 legs and not nearly as fast, and just kept going like 3 or 4 paragraphs of this about how the deer got away, and he tried to tell him to stop. And
somebody's got too much time on their damn hands.
It's a pretty hilarious story he wrote up about it though for his supervisor.
Yeah, but I've shown all you the pictures though when my wife's car got hit. Right? It caved in both driver's side doors and smashed the side view mirror.
Oh, it must have done the old hit and spin
Yeah, it had to have.
where it went head first into it and then it spun it around and the ass tagged the door behind it.
It had to have done something along those lines. Yeah, and there was fur hanging from what was left of the rear view mirror or the side view mirror.
I had a friend of mine took out a deer by hand and with a knife. Deer beat the shit out of him too, but he got it. He got on top of it, held it down like a wrestling move, and Rambo'd the shit out of that fucker's throat. He hit it with his pickup truck, okay? And all it did was it didn't kill the deer. It just kind of knocked it stupid. So he threw it, and he had a cap on the truck. He threw it in the bed of the truck. And he come home, and he got out screaming at his boy, "Get my knife, get my knife, get my knife." And he was telling us about a deer, and opened up the lid to look in the bed of the truck, and his deer standing there looking right at us. Once he started climbing in there, that deer started kicking. It's like, and that deer was hitting him in the head like punches and shit, man. But he was a pretty big old boy, and he got it. But that was one of the most crazy, violentest things I ever saw in my life. And of course, he's a big old hillbilly. He comes out there like, "Whoo, that was fun," shit like that. But it was like crazy, man. It was the god awfulest, slaughterous mess you ever saw.
Imagine.
Live deer, you shoot a deer and you get it, or whatever. When they're live and you're poking it with a knife, it squirts out blood like your garden hose every time you poke it. It's pretty violent, actually. Yeah. Sorry to run your family show.
This ain't a family show. It's a legitimate business. You're going to be as bad as Kingpin with this family show stuff, man. The mafia's got nothing to do with it.
I tell you, man, he had an old pickup truck. I'd have just shot the damn thing that was in there. But I don't know. I always look for the easy way, I guess.
See if I can get it.
That sounds badass. I wish I could have done that.
Yeah. Or let it go. Open the back and go in and say the hell with it.
This same old boy is usually pretty mild mannered, but when I say some people are like a big guy, this guy's a large individual, like mountain size, right? And though he'd never caused many problems, he could drink beer from 6:30 in the morning when he wakes up all day long till 1, 2 o'clock at night when he goes to bed and never be out of control. But damn, man, he weighs, 350, 370 pounds, we go to a Bassmasters fish fry where we don't know a single person there. And there's probably like 100 guys there that are all friends. And he sits down and some guy says, "Hey, I can drink more beer than you." And he didn't even say nothing. He just punched the dude, knocked him clean out.
Yeah,
And then the other dude runs up and says, "Hey, you can't do that. That was my brother." And he punched him and knocked him clean out. And then it was him versus 100 people. And we went running toward the car. And I was running to the car getting a tire iron. I looked back and he comes running out of the building, ain't got no T-shirt on, dives in the car. And then another instance where he's like, "Woohoo, ain't that fun?"
Yeah. For those of you that haven't seen the pictures, here's what happened the first time my wife's car got hit. This car got hit 3 times in total, and almost 4. One jumped over the hood and scratched the hood with its rear hoof. If my wife wouldn't have hit the brakes when she did, it would have landed in her lap through the windshield. You can see what it did to the mirror, and you can see the dent all the way up the side of the car.
What kind of car is that?
The Ford Fusion. Yeah, they can do some damage to your car. It ran right into the side of the car. The other time was the
Yeah.
See, man, it was scared of its reflection. If you'd have had a dirty car, that wouldn't have happened.
Sure. Tell the wife to keep it off the guardrail.
Yeah, and you notice this was the beginning of a snowstorm too. She was just driving home. It happened the night before. She had just gotten home and this was going down. This happened when I was taking my crime scene photography class. So I ran outside with the camera and started taking pictures, all crime scene photographer style.
I used to have a car that drank too much, and sometimes it would come home looking just about like that.
Oh, you had one of those too, huh?
Oh, I forgot. Yeah.
Since we're on a little car story here, I live in Nebraska and I'm about 6 miles away from the Kansas-Nebraska border. I used to work down in Kansas, and I used to be a chassis fab guy a long time ago. I used to build dirt track race cars, and I had a 1981 Buick Century that I used to drive back and forth with a little V6 that was supercharged, just like the Buick Grand Nationals. And had some pretty good pep to it. And I wound up having to, and the car wasn't very good looking. It was kind of rusted out and stuff, but ran a lot of damn miles. I welded in a grill guard off the front of that thing, and then I built a little insignia up front that said Deer Slayer on it. I'll have to put pictures up sometime. And I hit 19 deer with the front end of that thing, and I had 3 go completely underneath the car. And I killed all but 3 with that Buick when I welded the grill guard and everything on that thing. God, that thing was fun to drive. I wouldn't, after the first couple deer that I smucked, I didn't even, if one ran out in front of me, I didn't even touch the brake after that. I just let the car eat it.
But you see,
Never backed nothing up.
you see on this picture right here where my cursor is, those couple of thin lines right there. That's deer fur that was still stuck in the mirror housing.
Well,
People keep running on the highways. That Buick could come in handy.
This is true.
It still runs, but it needs a little bit of front end work. It's already got 246,000 miles on it. She's kind of
Might
semi-retired.
be a good investment.
But-
Just pep her up a little bit and keep her in the barn for that crazy day.
Well, you never know. It's got brand new tires on it and everything. So if I needed to throw a battery in it, she'd fire right up and she'd just sit there and purr like a kitten. But it got to be one of those cars where you filled the oil and checked the gas on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of those cars had some rough days, so they hung around for a long time though. A lot of people still stuck by them, so for the longest it seems. I was never a fan myself, but I had a friend that had his brother had every one, the fancy ones, racing them, and they had a whole garage, actually a couple garages set up and stuff. So they were all into it. They were impressive, I'll tell you that, when they were done upright. There's no denying that, but just wasn't really my style though.
my mom had one of those front wheel drive supercharged Regals. It was a pretty nice car, but the transmission broke in half. The casing of the transmission busted and cracked.
Yeah. Bernie's after saying that's a total loss. I guess I don't know. With the timestamp, I'm assuming he's talking about my wife's car. No, the insurance paid and had that fixed in no time. That was right after that was the winter after she got the car. She got the car in May during one of the Memorial Day sales, and that happened that winter after she got the car.
What happened to the deer?
She said it got up and ran off.
Oh, a hit and run then,
Yeah. Squib says, might want to get a truck. She wants a truck. She got a Ford Escape right now.
Yeah, but unless you've got a deer guard or a full bumper replacement on a pickup, it'll screw up a pickup just as bad as it will a car anymore nowadays because the
Especially newer truck.
front end of a half pickup is crap.
Well, that's why Bernie says you need to have guards all around the vehicle. You get like an Abrams, it's got the rail going all the way around the tank. Put one, or the what's the freaking 6-wheel drive Army vehicle? I can't think of the name of it right now. The Striker where they have the thing going all the way around it, protect against RPGs and stuff. That's what you need. Put one of those on your truck. You'll be set for everything.
Yeah,
Rock crawler exoskeleton.
can electrify it for crowd control. Be great.
You probably could. I don't know if I'd recommend it, but you probably could.
Oh yeah.
Yep, just go to your local farm shop, get you one of those good 10-joule fencers for no more surface areas there. Oh yeah, that'd warm somebody up really quick.
Well, it's a good idea for a Mad Max vehicle. Maybe on a smaller scale so you get better gas mileage, but, you know.
And Squib's out there recommending people get a Chevy Colorado. Guess that's what he drives.
I saw all that once on an A-Team episode.
Oh, they would do it to school buses and bulldozers and stuff.
Yeah, Squib's truck's pretty nice. They're a little bigger than initially when the Colorados came out. So I had a boss that had one that I used to have to pick up every time it snowed because his truck wouldn't make it up the hills or nothing. But Squibs has had a totally different stance. So it's a different, lot bigger body, I would assume, too. So they're probably better now. I know the first run of them, I heard a lot of mixed things about, and even that old boss ended up getting rid of his. But newer ones aren't too bad looking.
Yeah, they still have that goofy inline 5-cylinder.
I don't know about the modern ones. I know the old one did. So
Yeah, the old one did. It was like, what the hell?
Gas-wise, it all made sense, but it was.
No, I think Squibs has got a diesel V6.
Yeah, Squibs is diesel. Sounds funny standing next to that thing being diesel.
Yeah, those newer Colorados are they're supposed to be like a mid-sized truck, but they're pretty close to a full-size truck. I mean, maybe not the bed width, but the whole truck itself and how high they sit.
Yeah, interior room's got to be bigger than initial Colorados, definitely.
He says it's an inline 4-cylinder turbo diesel.
Well, I bet that gets pretty decent fuel mileage then.
Yeah, it's a good-looking truck. It's a pretty Ford Blue.
Isn't that kind of like sacrilegious to have a Chevy that's Ford Blue? Or is that New York Giants blue?
Well, that's how they do things in that state up north.
He says his truck is 27 miles per gallon. That's not bad. That's about what my wife's Escape gets. Maybe she might get 28, somewhere 27, 28 miles per gallon on her Escape. And hers is in turbo.
Damn, Kitten won't leave me alone. Making everybody else jealous. Woke up this morning, it was all curled up in my armpit and stuff. Crazy.
You got a new little friend now, Rob? Is it getting attached to you?
Yeah, apparently. Making everybody jealous, I guess.
Poor kitty.
Yeah. My wife cracks me up, right? Before she got the Escape, she was getting mad at the Fusion because the deer seemed to like that hitting that car for some reason. And she's like, I'm going to get one of those Nissan SUVs. I was like, what, like a Murano or something? She's like, yeah, I want one of those. What she gets a Ford Escape from the same dealership that we got the Fusion from. The Nissan dealership was right next door.
Should have got a Dodge if you want to miss them. Buy a Ram if you want to hit them. You got a permit for that cat, Rob?
No, that's stolen cat right there. Rescue cat. Soaking it up.
Yeah, Dum Dum's laying over there in his cat bed for once, sleeping, not laying on my legs or in the cardboard box.
Did you name that cat yet?
I haven't actually. I've been trying to think of something, but nothing really fits. The lady gave it a name. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna have to come up with something soon, though.
Well, if your lady did, I mean, it's not like you can have two names for it.
Yeah, she wasn't supposed to name this one.
I used to have 2 names for my old
But
lady.
anyway,
She probably got tired of you waiting around for you to name it, Rob.
pretty much.
Jason, I'm not going to ask what those names are.
Only one of them ever got her attention.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, I'm not touching that one.
Cute.
Yeah, keeps playing though.
Get a laser, man.
Got one.
Well, then
Looks
play
like
with
you got
the
a couple.
laser, not your hand, you dumbass. Good Lord. You don't get scratched if you use the laser.
Get 2 cats.
I'll throw out a. Since it's got the stripes, why don't you name it Tig? Short for tiger.
Wouldn't Tig be short for Tigger?
Yeah, it's a girl. I don't know if that would fit, I guess. I mean, I know anything could now, but
Hey, how dare
Yeah,
you
just
assume
notice
that
a-
cat's gender?
I'd name that cat Damn It. Because that's what you'd holler at it every time it does
Damn it.
something. Quit, damn it.
that's not bad.
Yeah. Well, that'd be like the Bill Cosby joke. God damn it, get over here. But Dad, I'm Jesus Christ. God, worst beating I ever got in my life.
Totally forgot about that bit. That's hilarious.
For the longest time, my brother thought his name was God damn it, and I thought my name was Jesus Christ. I found out the hard way that that wasn't the case when my dad called me one day, like, God damn it, get over here. But Dad, I'm Jesus Christ. I got the worst whooping of my life that day. Back before Cosby went all pervert on everybody.
Well, before he publicly went all pervert on anybody.
And whatever the case may be.
Apparently, most people didn't know after they were drugged.
Mm. Yeah, he's
It's
trying
a
to
damn
appeal.
shame.
Yeah, he's trying to appeal to the PA State Supreme Court to get out of prison now.
That's crap. I
On,
mean, if it's legit, he's, that's
humanitarian.
crap, man.
Yeah, he's trying to get a humanitarian release because of how old he is.
Shouldn't matter. I mean, if it's all true, I mean, he's lucky he had the time he did.
What was the crime?
Drugging women and force of sex, all that type of stuff. So
In short, rape. Lots and lots of rape.
Sounds like Bill Cosby.
That's what we were talking about. Sorry, folks. Gotta apologize for Jason. He's half asleep. He worked all day. You have to excuse him.
Oh, are we live yet?
Oh, yeah, we've been live, man.
you guys got anything planned for Christmas? Anything good?
We're staying home, and my daughter and her boyfriend are coming over, and that's about it. The other two still live here, so I can't say they're coming over.
I'm going to watch Emmett Otter on a loop for a whole weekend.
So when are we doing this Emmett Otter critique show, Jason?
I think we might try to do it Thursday. Maybe if somebody's got a couple of minutes this week, we'll go on a quick live stream, like a private one or something, to see if I can get the screen sharing to work and the sound and everything.
What are you gonna do?
We're gonna review. We're gonna watch and review the Emmett Otter movie.
Oh yeah.
I've never seen it, so yeah, count me in.
You're in for a real treat.
It's good, man.
They never showed that. I'm right in the middle of the Middle West,
It was an
and
HBO thing.
I never saw
It
that
was an
one.
HBO thing. You had to have
I never
HBO.
heard of it either, but I had HBO. So it's a shock to me.
Yeah, they showed that on HBO every year, man. For a good number of years. Squid's like Emmett Otter. What the? Yeah, we're gonna watch Emmett Otter, man, and we're gonna critique it. Mainly just to prove the Kingpin that it actually exists, because he swears it doesn't exist, and it's just me corrupting Jason.
Well, sounds awesome. Count me in.
As a kid, when I put on HBO,
That
I
way-
wasn't looking for cartoons.
I'm almost 40 years old, and I still like cartoons.
Yeah, I like to kill cleavage more.
I have a Hulu, and they just added Animaniacs on there. I love Animaniacs.
Oh, you just made my wife's day. She heard that.
It's on Hulu. That was like the best when I was growing up.
That, Pinky and the Brain, Tiny Toon,
Yeah. All of
DuckTales, Goof Troop, Chippendales, Rescue
Oh, yeah, good
Rangers,
stuff right there.
Darkwing Duck. Speaking of Darkwing, I got Negaduck. You won't bobble because he's in the box. My son couldn't find Darkwing, so he got me Negaduck. Okay. When my wife went upstairs, she left Magnum PI on the TV. I look up. For some reason, Rick is dressed like Marie Antoinette.
The new one or the original
The
Magnum?
original.
Have you ever seen the new one?
No, I've never watched the new one. Yeah, G23, I saw that. He said they're adding Saturday morning cartoons to MeTV. Yep. They keep showing the commercials for that on there. So they're going to have like the old Bugs Bunny cartoons and Tom and Jerry and stuff like that on there. Bringing back the Saturday morning cartoons.
Warner Brothers was always my favorite cartoons.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Saturday morning, ABC, 11 o'clock. Bugs
Yeah.
Bunny Roadrunner show.
Yeah.
Hell, they show the Flintstones now on MeTV every weekday, and then like a 2-hour block, I think, on Sunday mornings. Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, there's a funny story behind that. Went out to Colorado on our bikes here last year, and my brother's got a 1994 600 Cowie, and it's got the exact same color and paint job on it like Buzz Lightyear, and that was back in '94, and he strapped a Buzz Lightyear to the little hand grab clear on the tail, facing back at everybody when he goes zooming by everybody. So I got him one that actually lights up and speaks and everything, so that way he can throw it on there.
Yeah, MeTV Squib. It's one of those alternate digital channels that is broadcast if you have a digital antenna, but some areas you can get it on your cable system or like on a Dish or Direct TV as well. I just threw out the channel website. They have a station.
Uh,
Oh, go ahead, Pat. Sorry.
Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off, but MeTV is going to start showing Saturday morning cartoons starting January 2nd. Looney Tunes, the Flintstones, everything. Saturday
Yeah,
morning.
it's gonna be a 3-hour block, I believe, from 7 to 10, if I remember right. And you go to that website there, Squib, if you want to see if you got it in your area. They have a channel locator. But they show like a bunch of the old westerns during the week and stuff like that. They used to show them on Saturday mornings. I guess they're not going to be showing them Saturday mornings anymore if they're going to be putting the cartoons on Saturday morning. But they show, let's see, Gunsmoke. I'm trying to remember what the Saturday morning lineup is. I mean, it's weekday afternoon lineup. It's Gunsmoke, Bonanza, The Rifleman, then Wagon Train. The westerns they show every day, and then they show Adam 12 at 5, the Flintstones at 6, Happy Days at 6:30. And this is my wife's TV watching schedule, so I know that.
I just went and checked out metv.com.
The real one.
Squiggy has passed away.
From
His
Laverne
real name
World.
was David Lander.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the real Looney Tunes cartoon, Squib. They still have their guns and everything. Saturday mornings they had like on MeTV they had Trackdown, Have Gun Will Travel, Rawhide. Rawhide's in the afternoon. But it's a good channel if you like the old TV shows. You can put that on there and watch some old TV shows.
Yeah, it's definitely the older TV shows. Oh,
there's a few different channels that show old TV shows. You got MeTV, Antenna TV. Grit shows both old TV westerns and western movies. Charge shows a bunch of the older TV shows. They have like Magnum PI and Chips and Knight Rider and stuff like that on there. There's a couple others that I can't remember right now. Oh, Cozy. Cozy's got like the $6 Million Man on there weekday mornings. And Emergency.
I always liked that show, Hunter. Remember that show, Hunter?
Yeah, that's on Charge.
Is it? I like that show.
The one with Fred Dryer?
Yeah, whatever. The one with Dee Dee McCall?
Yeah. Yeah, Fred Dryer was the one that played Hunter. He was a former football player. I believe he played for the
I don't ever remember him. But I remember Dee Dee McCall.
You don't remember the title character? Come on, man. I know why you remember Dee Dee, but still. You probably wanted a Dodge Charger just like she had, didn't you?
Had one.
Or Daytona, rather.
Had one. Daytona.
Yeah.
Red with gray on the bottom is what I had. Is that what she had?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, had one.
Yeah, she had the turbo.
I didn't have the turbo, but I had the 89 Daytona.
Hers was older than that. Hers was one.
Yeah, like an 85 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine couldn't handle the burdens I placed upon it.
And Hunter, he drove around the old, like olive drab Dodge or Plymouth.
Yeah, old Plymouth.
Yeah.
we'd still have them old Plymouths and stuff around if Hollywood hadn't wrecked every one of them in the 1980s.
You know,
What year's having it for a motor?
What's that, Pat?
I was just asking, what did yours have in it for a motor?
Mine, the 2.5.
Gotcha.
During the 80s, everybody in my neighborhood, my mom, everybody had Dodge Omnis and
good Lord.
little Plymouth Turismos and everything like that. I've had many, many miles behind the wheels of those cars, and I broke and blew up every one of them.
Now, here's the question: did those Dodge Omnis come in any color besides sky blue? Because it seems like every one I've ever seen that I can remember was sky blue.
My neighbors had a blue one. My mom had a beige one. I had one that was burgundy on the top and the bottom with gray down the middle. And I had one that was flat black primer spray paint.
Well,
They got a poop brown one too.
honest to God, growing up in Pittsburgh, every time you saw one of those damn things on the road, it seemed like it was the sky blue one. It's like sky blue must have been the most popular color for that car.
Believe it or not, those things ran pretty good in the snow.
Oh, well, for the time period, light to light, that was kind of okay, but you could actually get them things up going, man. Once they hit about 80, 90, they were cruising along good, man.
Hell,
They
man.
would catch up to cars, and they're like, damn. And no, it ain't got the turbo. But, I mean, they only take so much abuse.
Yeah. I wish I could find the story. Honest to God, it said, this is true. There was a police chase on 279 North in Pittsburgh right after they got done building it. And this was right after they came out with the Metro convertibles. State police and Pittsburgh police were chasing somebody driving one of those red Metro convertibles. Dude was doing 150 miles an hour in a Geo Metro on Interstate 279 North.
That doesn't shock me. Those little cars would move.
Mm-hmm.
I got to borrow one of those for a while, a long time ago. I think the Geo Storm, but basically same type of car, a little bigger. I think the engine had like an extra liter or something, but it was kind of surprising what those little things would do.
Mm-hmm. And then they changed the body on the Camaro to look like a giant Geostorm.
Yeah, those are terrible Camaros. Well, the most of them were anyways, even before that. But that body style, those Camaros are pathetic.
No,
You gotta, if you don't have a car lift to get it up in the air, you can't do nothing. Everything's got to be from underneath the bottom of that thing.
Well, my wife's Fusion was that way. If you couldn't get a jack underneath the goddamn thing.
My son-in-law had one, and he was always playing with car stereos. You know what I mean? Taking one out. I only have a car stereo for a month, or we always messing with something, right? So I didn't know that he'd took the radio out and done something. And he's like, it won't start. It won't start. It's like it's dead. You know what I mean? So I go over there, turn the key, and nothing's happening. It's dead. So I jump start it down to the starter and make the starter bump over. And I was like, well, it's not the starter, And we kept trying other things. And it was like, yeah, maybe it is the starter. So I go take the starter off. Can't get the starter out from underneath the car for the damn exhaust pipes. Damn exhaust pipes won't come off without the bolts breaking. So I ended up cutting a pipe and splicing it back together just to get it out to get the starter in it. Put it back together. Car don't start when you turn the key. Nothing happens, right? So now we go chasing stuff. So now I think it's his keys no good. So we go to the dealership and we get a new keys and we get a new security gem module or something they called it, and reprogram everything, make this key work, and it don't work. The car doesn't turn and start. And we found all these tricks on the internet. Turn the key on, leave the door open 5 minutes or whatever, turn the key 5 times and started all this reprogramming. Nothing worked. And he borrowed my old lady's car for like 3 or 4 months while his car didn't run. And we finally go out there and we're messing with stuff. And I'm following wires through his steering column and everything. And they pop over here to the radio. And I was like, what's this wire right here? Oh, I don't know. It was hooked up over here. And he hooks this yellow wire up that came off the stereo, and the car starts right up.
That does not surprise me. Probably some security feature or something.
I would have been pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah, throw these-
I've seen people change their fuel pump because they ran out of gas. Seriously, yeah. And sometimes the simplest solution is really, go back through the basics.
Yeah.
But
Start with the easy
that
stuff and work your way to the harder
burn
stuff.
you up.
It's like the old saying, keep it simple, stupid.
Or go changing stuff and not realize they had a blown fuse and things like that. Like, definitely want to run over the basics first.
Well, when my wife had her Lumina, she had to argue with the tow truck guy the one time because the car broke down and they had to tow it. It says right in the manual not to use your standard chain style tow truck, right? You can only use a flatbed with it. It says right there in the manual. The guy's telling her, no, I can put that on her. She went and got the manual out of the glove compartment. He was like, you want to keep arguing with me, motherfucker? I told you can't put this on that damn style truck. Okay, guys holding a guy at gunpoint on Magnum PI with a 1873 Peacemaker. Doesn't have the hammer cocked. That gun's gonna do him a lot of damn good.
I've had
now he
issues
cocks the
getting
hammer. he got
Yeah,
the
tow trucks to deal with
dramatic
tow
moment.
cars.
Oh man, the old TV show.
Dragging a low car on a flatbed isn't ideal a lot of times. So I've had issues in that case with trying to get the right kind of tow truck, which is always a pain in the butt on the side of the road.
Mm-hmm. Oh man. What else we got to talk about here? I have no clue. Well, somebody come up with something.
I got my Buzz Lightyear to walk.
You got him to walk?
Yeah, just add batteries. I was going to load it up with batteries for my brother. And yeah, the damn thing walks. I didn't even know that.
I just noticed Squib sent me an email asking for a link. Yeah, I never should have just asked that in the chat, Squib. I don't check my email very often while I'm doing this show.
I bragged up my nail gun shooting like 1 million nails on my show the other night, and then it broke Friday.
She ate that shit.
Yeah, I still use bullet. It just started acting up because like the slide got loose on it, and you put like a whole clip of nails in there, strip of nails, and they would get broken halfway and get it cocked and jammed up, start jamming nails. And I was doing that almost every load on it every time. It was just taking me too long. I was like, well, you're done.
Not good. Yeah, I tastefully was working on a project and grabbed a framer downstairs and hooked it onto my auto compressor, and I blew the damn diaphragm. I'm almost positive. So pressure was jacked up a bit too much for that. So in my haste and, like, the heck, I'm just going to grab this one or whatever, and instead of grabbing the other compressor or anything, or God forbid, I just go check the regulator. No, in a hurry, I just bam, and that was it. I was like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, karma got.
That's why you always have at least two, man.
Oh yeah, I did.
It sucks. That was a newer one. It's so nice. I just left it at home, at this point. But
Well, you know what they say
now I
about
got a
karma.
project.
Yeah, Moo says he did the same thing, bragged about his DeWalt impact driver, and broke it the very next time he used it.
Yeah, karma.
Yeah,
I can't complain, man. I am so hard on my tools. They live a rough life around me, man.
Yeah, they say karma's a bitch, and you know what? They're right. I knew somebody named Karma, and she was a real bitch. Just saying.
I've used my gun as a hammer probably 50,000 times, so it's a wonder it even lasted this long.
Oh yeah, I like the little. Well, they're not new now. It was new on my latest smaller, like trim nailer or whatnot. How it's got the little air nozzle, so you can just if you're trying to put a piece of trim up and there's a little bit of crap on the edge of the floor, you can just spray it right the heck out, man. Got a little, I think, LED light on it too, or something like that. I never even put the batteries in for the light, but
I don't clean out. I don't clean out next to the walls, anything. Most of the time, that junk and trash and rocks from outside, it helps hold my trim stick out a little bit. So I don't clean nothing out.
I just thought of the real reason why Moo broke his impact driver. It was Karma paying it forward because he didn't use his show link to get on the panel tonight.
Well, he bought a DeWalt. I mean, what do you expect? Just because it's DeWalt doesn't mean it's the best. You got to look at the numbers on a lot of that stuff. So
hey, come on!
It's a big. There's all different levels of them too. So I've impressed quite a few people with my Porter cable impact driver that are DeWalt owners, and they've gone out and bought the Porter cable. So higher RPM, higher torque, basically the battery life lasts longer. I've just had better luck. Now, next time around, maybe the DeWalt will be better. I don't know, but don't just stick to the brand because it's the brand. Do your homework, and you can get yourself a better deal and sometimes save money.
Yeah, see, G23 says he has a link also. Yeah, see, you get your links and you don't use them, you risk having your power tools break. I'm just saying. It's karma, man.
On today's episode of Tool Time,
It's better to complain about your tools than brag.
Yeah.
ain't that the truth?
Buy a new computer that's supposed to be a Asus ROG, whatever you want to call it, ROG, whatever, however you want to pronounce it, and the damn thing has a piece of shit Asus Prime motherboard in it. Yep, that was money well spent. In case you don't know,
Your new computer?
Yeah, I wasn't happy when I opened that up and saw that inside there. So
Good.
I ordered a new motherboard.
You should slap the crap out of yourself. How come you didn't research it? You just were like, "Oh, it looked good." Click. Now look, that's what you get, man.
Because
you get.
If you've ever bought anything that with the Asus's ROG on it, that's the good stuff.
Yeah,
right?
Everything in that should have been ROC.
Yeah, everything in there should have been ROG. None of it was. The only thing that's ROG is the mouse and the case.
That's pretty shoddy, man.
They seen you coming.
That's like some Amazon type BS right there.
Mm-hmm. Never trust the military, I guess, because that was bought through the Army Air Force exchange. I should have bought something through the Coast Guard exchange. I might actually got something good.
Hey man, you're
Call 'em on the
military.
phone.
You should know.
Call
It ain't gotta be right. It's just gotta look right.
I know that. I was joking.
Ask us, as G-Web says, but call Asus up on the phone. Tell them to complain, man.
Shit, I wrote,
Tell 'em to make it
I wrote
right.
a review on the exchange website on it. It's like, I told her, how did I start it? If you're an old person who just needs something to check email and basic computer stuff, this thing's great. If you're a gamer looking for something with ROG quality, this isn't it. Don't buy this.
Man, I bought a Asus board off of eBay once for like $35-$45, and it wasn't no good. It was burnt up. I got ripped off, and I called them up on the phone and told them I quit working, and they sent me another one in the mail. Said sorry about that.
Well, I
I've
ordered
had
a,
good luck with eBay too. Haven't had many issues, but the ones I have had were addressed almost immediately, so without a problem.
I ordered a MSI Bazooka B550 motherboard for it from on Office Depot. So I'll get that and put that in there. That's a good motherboard.
I even ordered an old modular home breaker that they don't even really use anymore in newer modular homes for a customer. And by the time I got it, they ended up switching their mind and running the appliance off gas anyway. And it was supposed to be unreturnable, but I ended up contacting eBay and they took it right back.
eBay screwed me one time. I sold some motorcycle parts to a guy that was in Japan. I sold him some Kawasaki parts, and it was a good deal. You know what I mean? He paid me, and I shipped his parts out. And then we kept talking to each other, and he showed me pictures of his bike, and I saw like right away he had the wrong model bike for the parts that I sold him. Right? I don't remember if I said anything to him or not about it. But next thing I know, my account's missing. Like it was like $375, and like they took it out of my account, and I'm like got a hold of him, like what's going on? He filed a complaint and said I never sent him the parts, right? And since it was an overseas transaction deal, none of that insurance or protection eBay gives you or nothing. Their investigation works. So they just took his side of the story without even asking me and took the money back
That
out of my
sucks.
account.
It's because it's too much of a pain in the ass for them to handle that kind of shit.
Then
don't-
so I lost the money from him, and then eBay still made me pay them their share for the auction. I was like, oh, you guys are so dirty.
Yeah. That's why you never do overseas sales. If you're going to sell anything, sell domestic and domestic only.
Yeah, I agree. And if you buy certain things from overseas, you should, obviously, I'm sure most people know, but I'd be cautious because there is a lot of knockoffs. Things are in total different sizes. They got decals for walls for the kids' room and stuff, and they look like they're the size of the wall. By the time you get it, it's like dollhouse walls and furniture they use. A lot of stuff just isn't how it's advertised. So, and I refine my searches into the U.S. I mean, sure, some of the stuff might have came from overseas, but it's sitting in a warehouse in the U.S. and it's no BS. You don't have to wait 2-3 weeks and all this crap. And if you got a problem, you can actually do something with it.
Yeah, we had somebody report us for not shipping a product on something that we got no bids on. And eBay put my account on hold for I don't know how long until they investigated the thing and decided, yep, I was right.
Yeah, that was the only problem I ever really had with eBay. I never had really much problems to complain about myself, really.
Yeah. Well, after that one,
You always get, like the motherboard, you always get something that's burned or broke or something. But, if you only paid a few bucks for it, that's kind of like on you.
Yeah, but I haven't sold anything on eBay since that one. I mean, I was like, screw this, man. I'm not going to get reported for not shipping something that nobody actually won the auction for. It's like, fuck this.
Oh, what I find funny is a lot of people, used to knock eBay in a sense, but I've always had great results, and I could get quality products. I can get it within the U.S. I can even, get one that's 2 states away instead of in California or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I've had like basically no major problems, and I'm happy with just about everything, if not everything I've ever gotten or how the issue is handled. But yet, these offers come in for the reviews of this Chinese junk, and everything's Amazon. And I swear, it looks like everything on Amazon is like it's like the American version of Wish or something. It's just all crap. Like I feel no need to get an account for Amazon. Maybe I don't use it, so I'm not looking at everything. But most of the stuff I've seen just looks like junk.
No, the Amazon has a lot of good products on there. Amazon carries everything. They carry junk, garbage, Chinesium crap, and then they have good stuff. I mean, you just gotta know what you're looking for.
Mm.
Yeah,
Because I've even
some
done
stuff that
searches
you
for
buy off
products.
Amazon comes from the shipper's actually a major store with a website that you could have went to.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. No, I don't know. I've never been convinced on Amazon, and I'm damn sure not paying for Prime or something like that for
Prime's
somebody
free.
to send me some free junk.
Oh, Prime pays for itself.
Yeah, Prime pays for
If
itself.
you use Amazon, but I don't use Amazon.
Yeah, but it's not just shipping and buying. If you got Kindle Fire stuff or anything like that, like
Nope.
your movies, your entertainment,
Nope.
your any of that is all
Nope.
free, man, through Prime.
I don't do all that shit.
And all you got to do is buy a few things a year, and what you would have spent in shipping pays for that. And you got not
Streaming
just free
service.
shipping, but just
Yeah.
the entertainment, the computers, everything. Prime's a hell of a deal, man.
Yeah, the Prime isn't just shipping, free shipping and stuff. You get a movie streaming service and a music streaming service.
Yeah, I get that, but that fits most people's lifestyle, but doesn't necessarily fit ours. We're not like TV people. Like, how you guys go on talking about all these shows and shit. I wouldn't be able to be employed if I knew half as much as you guys did about TV shows. Not necessarily you, but some of you guys out there. It blows my freaking mind.
We order so much stuff from Amazon. I think
Then you got kids, you got a life, work. I mean, I ain't got time for it. Neither do my kids. I mean, nobody can sit on their ass for 6 hours a day watching TV. It's just, everybody's different. I'm not trying to knock anybody or something, but to us, it's not worth it. I don't even have cable. It's not worth it to us.
we order so much stuff every day, like Snob. I think one day we had like 14 things delivered in one day from Amazon.
You can get quality firearms optics off of Amazon. Quality stuff. Not necessarily cheapo shit. They have the good stuff on there.
If you got too much stuff from Amazon, my address is still the same.
Yeah.
Where do you think Snob gets a lot of his camera equipment from, man?
The pawn
I
shop.
thought it was pawn shops and none of it worked.
He hadn't been in pawn shops in a while since, all this crap with 2020.
Yeah, but that's what he's telling you anyway.
No, I usually know. I can see everything on the bank accounts.
You ain't seen everything on that Instagram account.
Mm-hmm.
Next time that safe door opens, start counting.
Yeah, but he has them.
I have the code for the safe.
He has him doing his charges on the bank account debit card as being from Walmart. So if you see him going to Walmart, he's actually going to the pawn shop.
Yeah. He never goes to Walmart.
Hey, Squibby.
But would you believe?
Hey,
Okay. Would you believe Starbucks then, Stacy?
Nope, he doesn't go to Starbucks.
Here's a trick for you. When you go to the grocery store and you pay with your bank card or your credit card or whatever, ask for $20 or $50 cash back and you get it. But you never know. If you go look at your bank statement, then it just says, "Hey, I spent $150 at Kroger's." It doesn't say you spent $100 in groceries and 50 cash.
Well, see, I do all the grocery shopping, and he's not smart enough to figure out that that's what I do.
He is now. If he's still out there watching.
He's not. He's talking to the guys.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
more important. Okay. Okay, I see how it is with these hens, man. Come on.
I know somebody that actually saved the money for a divorce that way.
I'll just use his money for the divorce.
$50 here, $50 there, that kind of thing, Jason.
She's able to get a lawyer and an apartment.
We're not dumb.
And divorce lawyers are always great at trying to work out a deal too with those single women.
Mm-hmm.
Outstanding people.
Yeah, just ask my brother.
Oh, he's not here tonight.
Yeah, but I have a feeling he will be in the very near future. So, yeah, those lawyer deals, yeah, that's a shady fucking deal when it comes to divorces.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, an attorney or a weatherman, like safest jobs out there in a sense. You don't have to be right, you don't have to be wrong. You get paid either way.
I mean, a lawyer can be a good thing if you get the good lawyer.
Yeah, you always win. Even if your client loses, you still get paid.
There's always a little circle, man. There's always a little clique uptown with the judges and the lawyers and the prosecutors. You get the right lawyer, and you might not have a whole lot to complain about.
Yeah, and I'll say this, got caught for a DUI down in Kansas when I was like 18, 19 years old. Went to go to court and got a lawyer from down there. And he goes, "Oh," he says, "don't worry about it." He says, "Do you have an extra $500? And I said, "Yeah, why?" And he goes, "Well," he said, "just bill that." He said, "Just put it on your tab to me." And he says, "And we'll get it all cleared up." So I did. And I was supposed to have my license pulled immediately from the state of Kansas at that time. That's the way it worked. And yeah, it never got pulled because I got pulled over 2 weeks later for doing a burnout on Main Street. I used to be a bit of a wild man back in the day. And I was like, oh, crap, they're going to run my damn license and I'm going to get thrown back in jail. Nope, because after the court deal and everything was done, some poor bastard named Patricia Grace got their license pulled, and the $500 went to the judge to pay him off.
Yeah, it's crazy how it works sometimes.
Good deal. Can't quit yawning. I'm gonna make Jason fall
Stop
asleep.
it, Rich.
It's your fault, Jason. I don't know why. It just is.
It's always Jason's fault.
No, it's always Night Strike's fault. But in this case, he's not here.
So when has that ever stopped you?
It's true.
I may have done it, but it wasn't on purpose.
So nobody's
So
going to see family on Christmas or nothing like that? Parents or anything? Or taking any trips or what?
Nope.
Yeah, gonna do a small one. Mom and dad and some of my cousins or stuff coming down. So, yeah, pretty good sized gathering for Christmas.
but well within your governor's guidelines.
Oh hell no! Because we've got my sister lives down in Texas, and she's bringing her family up from Texas, and so yeah, we don't have. It's not that restrictive, like East Coast, West Coast, but yeah, they've still got a narc line in a couple of the cities around here.
Have you guys noticed a bunch of it seemed like every time I pass a TV or something, I'm hearing ads for like Toys for Tots and things like that. Are you guys hearing anything like that in your area? Does it seem more than common or normal?
We do a lot of that around here for different stuff. They're actually asking this year for more stuff for older kids and young teenagers, because most of the gift drives or whatever are always kind of focused toward the youngest children, and they're saying they've getting a lot of reports that the medium age kids are getting left out. So they just asked this year for more stuff for the teenage type kids.
Well, they do know the medium age kids can shovel driveways and cut grass and do more besides say, give me something, right?
That's funny, Rob.
I don't know. Yeah. But anyway, no, I'm just curious because of the fact that, the way things have been going with this COVID and the food lines and everything. I'm kind of interested in to see what the numbers turn out to be as far as holiday donations, things like that. It seems like they're asking for more, but I'm pretty sure they're probably going to get less, just due to the products and things like that not being available everywhere and people taking upon hardship due to work or this or that. So, but, we are the most giving country of all. So it just makes you quite curious. Sad to see so many people in need in a sense, but I'm wondering what it's actually going to break out to be.
Yeah, they're always emptying the Toys for Tots box here at the Walmart. It gets filled real quick here. And then they have to empty it like 3 times a day.
What food lines?
Huh?
I've seen it online, seen it on the news. I guess PA, there was a huge one that was 7-8 miles long. Vehicles lining up to go to food banks. So, which I find ironic considering all those vehicles are newer than mine, but
Oh, you've been to Detroit.
No, so I'm just, but there's a lot of people out there looking for, in need of food supposedly. So I'm kind of curious, it seems to be a pretty big problem. And, from the pictures you see on the roads and stuff with these vehicles, you'd assume they're middle class. They're, like I said, in most cases, they're driving nicer vehicles than me.
Is it a big problem, or they're just taking advantage of free food?
I have no idea. But let's face it, a lot of people, I've known people personally, things look good, but they're scraping change together just to get to work, because everything's a payment on a payment or whatever. So I don't know. I really don't know.
They should probably hand out job applications with all the places that are desperate for workers right now and can't find enough of them.
If we had a food bank around here, I'd go just to get the peanut butter for making cookies. If you've never had cookies made with the government peanut butter, that black and white can of peanut butter, that stuff makes good peanut butter cookies. It's not good on bread to tear your bread to pieces, but for cookie batter, for peanut butter cookies, that stuff is great.
Yeah, the closest thing I think I've seen to a food line is a lot of the takeout places have got full parking lots because people are constantly coming down there to get dinner. So they can try to shut them down. They can try to close down these businesses, but if they got a reputation for good food, they'll stay in business.
I kind of like the curbside stuff, even after if COVID ever gets over with. I wouldn't mind keeping that part. I can be lazy and sit in my car and then just bring it out to me.
have they closed down a lot of the inside dining in y'all's places? Like, period? Like, it's just like strictly curbside?
Yeah,
or-
but the more popular restaurants, they've got full parking lots because there's that many customers going there to get the carryout to take home. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure other people feel the way I do, that I'd like the option to go sit down and eat in that restaurant, but at least they've got the carryout. I feel bad for the people who don't have any work unless their bosses get creative, because they don't need a waitress, a busboy, a dishwasher anymore. Well, maybe a dishwasher, maybe, but you know, and then you're talking about all the revenue from the tips, and the fact that if you're sitting there eating, you might, you know, order a couple drinks or order a little bit more than maybe you would for carryout. So there is lost revenue there. I don't think it's right that these governors are doing this crap when nobody wants it. The customers, the business owners, nobody wants it, but at least they have that carryout option to keep them going.
We were closed
I
down
find
most
it
of the
hilarious.
summer, but our restaurants are open now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I find it hilarious because almost this whole time our restaurants are open. Yeah, curfews on timing and things like that, but I know in travels, especially PA, certain areas, lots of places was takeout only. But in my area, I can pretty much go into any restaurant. So
Well, that's cool. You must have a pretty good governor.
yeah, well, it's shocking because it's we got it pretty bad around here. So
Hey, man.
we don't have a good governor, that's for sure.
Hey,
But
man. New York,
for some reason,
New York's got the bestest governor. He won an Emmy, guys. Come on.
no,
Emmy
I just think,
award-winning governor.
you know, every time we hear horror stories, you know, it refers to New York, but I think the majority are leaning towards New York City. You know, not that I'm as free in my area as some. You know, they will call the police on you if you don't have a mask on in a store or something. I don't know exactly if they're going to charge you or not, but probably, because my daughter works at a store, and several times the police are coming in looking for people because a customer called, and the store said you know, there's nothing they can do. It's not against the law, but the police are like, leave that to me. So
Yeah,
where are
see,
they? And they had already left. So, you know, I don't know what'll happen, but you know,
that's a trade-off. In your state, you can go sit down in a restaurant and eat, and I can't. But in my state, they can't arrest me for not wearing a mask. It's a trade-off.
something, I guess. Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's like here right now. Every single one of these bigger cities like Hastings and Kearney and Grand Island, they all sat down and had their little city meetings and stuff and made mandatory mask law as soon as you get into city limits and stuff. Me and the wife went out for her birthday here this weekend on Saturday. Went up and got groceries and stuff, you know, and every place I saw that on the front door, I'd walk in and I have a old Hank Williams Jr. bandana that I just throw up and kind of look like one of those old Western outlaws with the bandana wrapped around my face. As soon as I got in there, I just pull it down. Nobody said a friggin' word.
Oh, hell, half the people you see wearing masks don't have them on right
I had
anyway.
a funny moment yesterday. Was it yesterday or maybe the night before? It was late at night. I ended up jogging down, or not late at night. I ended up jogging down to the store before I think it was Family Dollar store closed. And I jogged down and got to the door and stopped, put my mask on. Like, well, before I stopped, everybody's staring at me like I don't know if they're thinking I'm coming to rob the place or what. Put the mask on, and then everybody just goes back like everything's normal. I was like, they were, I guess, checking to see if I was just going to run in the store without a mask or what. So I don't know if everybody
were gonna rob in and rob
me or what the deal was.
You were going to run in and rob the place without the mask on.
Yeah, something. It was kind of weird. I was like, wow, like, that's strange.
I
got
find it
me a
interesting when I'm going down the crowded aisle in the grocery store and I don't have my mask on and people get out of my way. And I'm like, why haven't I been doing this the whole time? You know, trying to find some way to scare people. Because I get sick of these people. the way they walk through the store, they hang over their cart, they take up the whole aisle, they park right in front of the thing I want to look at or whatever it is. Well, they see me come without my mask and they get the hell out of my way. I just need to, when all this goes away, I need to do something to make it look like I've got the plague, and then I can shop in peace.
Hell, man, we go over to Walmart. People see me not wearing a mask and they take theirs off.
I've had that happen, but today I had some people that were just wearing it around their nose or their mouth or their chin, and they saw me and they pulled it up over their nose when they saw me. And that's the opposite of the normal reaction I get. But still, I've noticed, though, more and more people at the stores get out of my way because I don't wear a mask. And I'm wondering if it's because they're afraid they're going to get cooties or something. There's people, you run into them that they believe all this garbage, and there's other people just doing this because they have to, or they're afraid they're going to get arrested or something, or they don't want to make it hard on the people at the store, because the only thing that can really happen is the health department can walk into the grocery store and slap a fine on the grocery store for not telling me to put on my mask. That's all they can do. And there ain't enough health department employees to be everywhere at once.
Well, I've said it before. I mean, every major law enforcement agency within the state of West Virginia has said that any order from the governor to wear a mask is in violation of West Virginia law.
Yep. Police departments in Michigan have said they're not enforcing this.
I want to claim, ownership of a term here. It came to my mind the other day when I was driving and I seen a lady in a car. But when people had the mask on their chin, I'm just started calling that a chin bra. So maybe that'll stick. But because a lot of the fabric ones and stuff, at a real quick glance, it almost looked like the lady had a bra on her chin. So I'm going to call that the chin bra. What do you guys think?
I like it.
I got me a fancy mask.
All right.
I got a thin blue line gator that if I absolutely must wear the mask to go somewhere, like when we went to Gettysburg for the hotel, you had to wear a mask at all the hotels or you weren't staying there, right? And which pretty much limited you to sleeping on the sidewalk or sleeping in a hotel that you had to wear a mask to get to your room. But yeah, that's what I would have. If I'm gonna be forced to wear one of these goddamn things, I'm gonna make a political statement doing it.
I got a Cleveland Brown mask. I wear it because I hope the team won't make me sick.
I was gonna say, what is it? Used toilet paper? Hey man, you're doing good this year. You just have picked the year when the Steelers are undefeated to decide that you want to that the Browns want to have a good season.
I'm at the point of being a lifelong Cleveland fan that when they lose a game, I just laugh at them.
Hey man, they're what, 9-3 now? Come on.
Yeah, they're doing good this year, but even like I was explaining today, they almost succeeded in losing.
Well, Vanessa says that she wears a balaclava when she goes to the VA. Well, it's basically what a gaiter is. It just doesn't cover up over top of your head too, but it covers your neck, mouth, nose.
Yeah, I wear a keffiyeh, or I've at least got it around my neck. It actually, in the cold weather, it helps keep me warm. But I don't pull it up over my face unless it's an absolute necessity, or I've pulled it up and it's fallen off and just shrug my shoulders and keep going. What are they going to do? The furniture store and the UPS terminal were the two places where they had the mask Nazi working there. It's kind of funny. The salespeople at the furniture store don't like wearing masks, and they didn't care that I wasn't wearing one. But the receptionist at the front desk was like, she was being the mask Nazi, and I really kind of wanted to throw a fit, but I'm thinking, you know what? It ain't worth it. It just isn't worth it. Just put it on, and as soon as you're around the corner behind the sectional, you take it off.
You bring up a pretty good point there, Squib. I forgot when we were at the Five Below store. It's a $5 and below store. On the deal, when you do self-checkout, the first thing that came up on the damn screen, and this kind of pissed me off, was your helper today wearing their mask? Right up on the damn screen, it said, was your helper today wearing their mask today, yes or no? And it's like, Jesus Christ, you guys got a narc line on your fucking employees and everything too? Are you wearing a mask?
I've
fuck
been to
yourself.
businesses where I've had to deal with an employee there, and you could see they're struggling, and they're like, I cannot breathe in this thing. And I'll tell them, then take it off. I don't believe in it. And they'll take it off, and they'll be like, you don't mind? No, I don't. Do you see me wearing one? Well, yeah, but I've got to wear. As far as I'm concerned, you don't. Not to get my business. And they smile. They're happy, you know. And then you'll have that one customer that comes in that, you know, might say something, but that I haven't seen that in a long time. I mean, we had somebody shot in Flint and knifed just outside of Lansing for telling somebody to put on a mask. And since then, people around here have kind of kept to themselves. But I tell people all the time, you don't have to wear that. You might have to wear that because your boss tells you, but you don't have to wear it to get my business.
Amen, brother.
No, in my area, they got some people that had issues or whatever with masks. I noticed they're just very small percentage, but they're running around with these like headbands with a face shield thing. And
Yeah, those don't do anything.
yeah, if an employer is gonna force something upon you for state, could be the way to go because it's definitely not gonna cause a restriction as far as respiratory, which you know really is a problem as far as moisture and bacteria, and a lot of people are coming down with respiratory issues that more so than before everybody was wearing a mask. So in some cases, it isn't ideal, and it could be a health issue to you. So there is that option as well as those face shield things. So it might look funny, so is a mask or whatever, but if you to keep your job and not have to worry about like you're suffocating or something, or if you're obese, whatever the case is, lack of oxygen can cause some problems, especially over prolonged periods of time. So
yeah, that's the other thing. I work second shift. First shift is the one where all the management is there, and they're the ones saying you got to wear a mask, got to wear a mask. When I roll into work, they're either gone or walking out the door. They don't even stop to tell me to put on a mask. Second and third shift at the factory, nobody, well, I shouldn't say nobody. There's about half the people wear them, the other half don't. They don't enforce it. And if they did, they'd be out of second and third shift. If they did, there wouldn't be anybody to show up to work. So first shift is really the shift you want to be on. You can have a normal life and stuff like that, but it's kind of nice. There are ways I can work my job where I don't have to have it on because the rule is it's if you're in close proximity to other people. Well, I don't necessarily have to do that. There are other people, they have no choice. And if you got to feed your family, wear the damn mask if that's what it takes to keep your job. I get it. But when you don't need to and you don't want to, then I support it if you don't. If you actually believe it helps, if that makes you feel better, that's fine. I don't care. That's your life. That's your choice. Just don't tell me I have to do it or else, because it doesn't do a damn thing.
Exactly, because just like the point that I brought up on Sandy's show last week, basically the mask is really great at transmitting COVID if you've got it, because guess what? Unless you're cleaning it every single day, washing your hands after every contact and everything, and most of these masks and stuff are uncomfortable to people because they're not used to wearing them, guess what they're doing all the time? They're sitting there playing with it with their damn hands and everything, readjusting and everything. Guess what? Now it's on your hands. Guess what? Now you're going to smear it all over something else. And then somebody's going to pick it up. So it damn bit of sense.
Even
to me.
that doesn't matter because most of these masks you see people wearing don't do a damn thing to stop COVID in the first place.
Right. It's cloth. It's not really meant for that. You know, it's the whole thing. It makes people feel good and it gives the government control. And at the end of the day,
Yep.
it does nothing. If I thought it did something, I'd be on my channel doing videos about you look so stupid without your mask on. But instead, I do videos saying I look so stupid with my mask on.
Yeah, was it last week when Nighthawk jumped on and we were talking about the masks and he was talking about how
Yep.
the masks that they had when he was in the military still when they were treating the SARS virus and he ended up catching it wearing all the masks and everything they told him. The SARS virus is the same family of virus that COVID is in, and COVID is smaller in size than the SARS virus.
When
So-
SARS happened, my company that I used to work for is an international company all around the world. And we had regular business trips to China. And all these salespeople and engineers and stuff were freaking out. And they said, business as usual. They put out a company-wide email saying, you can't say, I don't want to go to China because of SARS. And Human Resources went out and bought a case of hand sanitizer, 144 bottles of hand sanitizer. And they started putting them out at the reception areas, putting them out in the restrooms, putting them out in the break rooms, putting them out in all the buildings all over the place. I flipped one over and I said, these expired last year. And the HR manager was just, beside herself. And nobody really did anything for SARS or the swine flu. So why are we doing anything different for this?
Well, hell, if you remember back a couple months now when we did this show about the report from when SARS was happening, the National Institute of Health was telling people not to wear masks because that's more detriment to your health than wearing the mask. Now you got the same folks over there at the NIH, which by the way, that's where Fauci works, telling you to wear the masks.
They put out a bulletin saying the dust masks you buy at Home Depot will not protect you. They are not suitable for medical use. Because people were running out and buying the masks and buying the hand sanitizer, and they, some people at work were asking about them and stuff like that, and I had to pull up this information and go, look, I can go to Home Depot and buy. My boss wanted me to run down there and buy a bunch of them. I'm like, why? It even says on the package they're not approved for medical use. Now that paper mask isn't any better than a cloth mask as far as I'm concerned. It's not a surgical mask. I know the N95, blah, 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 whatever. But, getting back to the point about, washing your hands after touching it or washing it on a regular basis or disposing of it and putting on a fresh one, it's really not being used in a proper application. So it's just a feel-good measure, and that's all people want. They want to feel safe. It's interesting how you're supposed to wear a mask and social distance, and you'll see people do one or the other. They'll either social distance and not wear a mask, or they'll put the mask on and they'll be close enough they can touch. And it's like, look, if either thing really worked, I'd be behind it, but it's not. I mean, if somebody is sneezing and coughing, they could have the common cold, and I'm not going to shake their hand. I'm going to keep my distance. And, if they start touching everything, I'm going to get rude with them. But that's just common sense. And, the government doesn't trust us to have common sense and be personally responsible. And I'm not saying any of this, anti-government conspiracy theory crap. I'm just saying, they pulled the whole, let's not let a good tragedy go to waste. And America fell for it.
Yeah. Standard paper surgical mask does absolutely nothing to stop COVID.
Yep, exactly. Because, like when I'm cleaning out a bin, or if I'm in something really dirty, like cleaning up one of my hay processors down at the feed yard down here. Yeah, sure. It works great for a heavy molecule like dust and dirt and stuff like that, as long as you are clean shaven and it fits around your face and your nose and everything nice and tight. But other than that, it doesn't do crap. But it's just...
Yeah, you bring up a good point. I think it's funny anytime I see any of these guys with beards wearing the mask and it's not making a seal on their face. And I'm like, you're an idiot.
Yeah, it doesn't do a damn thing. Now that I don't have to, and I've actually got I've got one of those, crap, I used to know what the hell it was called. It was one of those full face ones that you put over. It almost looks like a firefighter system, but it's just got the dual charcoal scrubbers on each side, and it's got the full plastic screen that I use now just because I've got a full beard and everything, and that actually does seal up pretty good around my face.
Yeah, my wife.
Well, I find it funny that they say wear any sort of face covering, wash your hands, and social distance, but they don't say shave daily.
Yeah,
Exactly.
my wife is on the mask fitting team at the hospital. She has to fit people with the N95 masks, and you get the guys that work at the hospital that have the beards bitching every time because they have to shave before she can fit them with the mask. She hands them a razor and shaving cream, tells them you need to go shave, and they get so pissed off. She's always coming home. Oh, this guy was all pissed off because I had to have him shave his beard off.
Yeah, this beard ain't coming off until frickin' spring, because trust me, when you're outside as much as I am around cattle and stuff and everything, trust me, a beard helps insulate the old face and everything and keeps a lot of heat right there. And getting back to what Squib was kind of going off, I'll kind of launch off of what he said. It's all about personal responsibility. And I'll tell you when it starts. As soon as you walk out that freaking door of your house, or even inside, as far as that goes, you take a personal amount of responsibility. Whether you get behind a wheel of a car or anything else, there's always that risk. There's always that personal responsibility that you have to take just living. It's just like anything else. And it's just one of these things that we're either A, maybe they actually do find something that'll wipe this thing out, or B, it's just something we're going to have to live with for the rest of our friggin' lives. So why are we sheltered?
Yeah, people need a respirator if you're looking for something to really stop things. But something like P100 or things like that, P99 works pretty well. So you can get a lot of the stuff, but basically, like you're stating, those masks don't do a thing. So I just showed like respirators. I've used those at work for 8-10 hours. It's not fun, but you can do it. But it's different than a mask. It's a totally different thing.
Oh, Rich, I'm gonna have to hop off here, buddy.
Okay. Oh shit, we're probably gonna have to wrap this up anyway.
I'm glad I could be some help. Thanks for calling.
Yeah. No, Miller hasn't sent his links out yet.
Just leave me.
Everybody take care. I'll see y'all later.
Fine, leave me.
I'll miss you.
Take care, dude.
All right.
Later, Jason.
Yeah, go get some
All right.
sleep.
Jason, have a good one. Damn, Squibby, you got me all wound up tonight now.
But yeah.
Oh,
Everybody's
okay.
gonna need to run around in one of these too.
It's all Squib's fault now.
Anybody heard from Midnight? He hasn't
No.
sent hints out.
No, I'm just saying he just got me really thinking about tonight, and I just got a little wound up.
Marty might have got midnight.
I thought Marty got destroyed. Didn't you see his Instagram post?
No.
Oh, yeah, he did an Instagram post where Marty got this, where he claims that him and Marty got into it and Marty was destroyed. I think that's what the gist of it was, anyway.
And now it's the sound of silence.
Hey, you're gonna get us a copyright strike from Simon and Garfunkel, young man.
Have you all heard the Disturbed version of that one?
Uh-huh.
I didn't know he could sing like that once he put his vocals to it. Holy crap. I thought he did a really good
He
job.
sucks live. I'm sorry. David Draven sucks live. He's good on recorded content because they can filter and edit and all that stuff. But, live he's not very good. But Moo says that Midnight is setting up now. He was busy doing Christmas decorations. So, like me, he wasn't paying attention to time.
He's a sucker. Putting up
Well,
those
that's what
decorations suck.
Yeah, they do. But that's what I was doing for about half the day. We finally got the tree up, and you guys probably saw me walking around outside on my fence and everything out front of the house.
Yeah, the only thing we got is lights outside the house. We haven't done shit inside. Wife decorated the outside of the door and put lights up, and that's about as far as it got. At least she got Stacy and Snob's address right this time, and she didn't put Stacy as the
Right.
address.
That was the first thing I looked at when he handed it to me too. I'm like, oh, look, she got it right.
Yeah, that's what Snob was saying on a Gary show during the pre-show. That first thing Stacy did was look at the address line. Said that she got it right this time.
Oh, I meant to ask last time, Stacy. You guys are down in Oklahoma,
Yes.
right? Where at in Oklahoma?
About an hour northeast of Tulsa. We're kind of up by Bonita, kind of like in this northeast corner. We're not far from Kansas, Missouri.
They're
Past the tree
Oh,
and follow
okay.
the mule trail.
they're
Yeah.
smack dab in the reservation there.
Oh, okay. I got you. No, I was just
The
curious.
reservation that used to be known as Eastern Oklahoma.
Yeah. We're up here in this northeast corner,
I
kind of in
got you.
between Joplin and Tulsa, because it's really about the same distance for me to go to Joplin almost as it is to go to Tulsa.
Okay. Well, I was curious. I got relation who lives down that way, so.
Yeah, been in this area now since towards the end of 2003, I think is when I moved here. So,
How's Oklahoma been handling all this crap?
I don't know. For a while, I mean, towards the beginning, everything closed down, but like everything's open and stuff, you can go to it. But we've had more cases, so a lot of towns are doing like that particular town's doing mask mandates. But other than that, most places you don't even have to wear a mask in there. I mean, they just say, on their social distance, but you can still go in there. And most of the restaurants are open, but I noticed a lot of them have, like, instead of being open as late as they were, they close a couple hours earlier. But not too much difference. It's basically almost the same.
Yeah, it sounds about like here in Nebraska.
Yeah, I think the most place we ever had to really wear a mask is when we went to Colorado. First time we went, they had like a statewide mask everywhere. But most places here, you don't have to. I mean, there might be a few small stores that require it or whatever, but most places you don't have to.
Man, I just got a clickbaity email from Donald Trump. It says the subject line was "My beautiful wife," and then it said she did something special for you. Man, I was thinking there were like nude pictures or something in there of her. Nope, just wants me to buy some stupid calendar. Such a letdown.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna ask you guys. We went up to and y'all probably won't know where this at, but it's one of our bigger cities here in Nebraska, Kearney. They actually have a Trump shop in Kearney. Do y'all got that anywhere around where you guys are at?
No. They did have, when we went to Great American Outdoor Show back in February, they had a stand or booth that was selling a bunch of Trump merchandise.
I've seen a few small stores that were basically going on, I believe, political merchandise. So a lot of Trump stuff. I've seen a lot of T-shirts, things like that at some places advertised. Basically all Trump stuff. I haven't seen anything that was for Biden or, any T-shirts of Biden or anything like that. So, but seen a few that Rod of Iron Festival had a bunch of stuff there as well. And speaking of them, they just had a video out on the winner of the Trump Tommy gun. So apparently a guy actually won that. So looked like a pretty nice gun. They got a little video of it up. It's got like, the stocks it's all hand carved and everything. It's got like the White House and a bunch of stuff on it. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, I'm tired of all the Trump gun crap. Honest to God, I mean,
I wouldn't go buy one, but I wouldn't be upset if I won one. It was it's a piece of art, you know what I mean? So
those things are overdone. Every time you look somewhere, somebody's got this Trump gun for sale or that Trump gun for sale. It's like, Jesus Christ, people.
Okay, I've got this 45 and it's gold plated because I like gold and it shoots awesome.
It's huge. It's a huge gun. It shoots these huge bullets.
He's sent out his links now.
Yeah, I saw you say that out there in the YouTube chat. So we're going to start wrapping this up. So, Stacy, you got anything you want to say? Any plugs? Any wisdom? Anything at all you want to leave people with for this week?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay. What about you, Rob?
no, just have a great evening, everybody.
Pat?
Yeah, hopefully sometime this week or this weekend, hopefully I will be coming out with a different hunting video since my deer hunting videos kind of got squabished because of sickness running through the house, but that's okay. Hopefully I'm going to do a predator video with one of my buddies. He's got one of those nice mojos to call in coyotes and bobcats and stuff, and hopefully we can get a early evening or a early morning hunt in, and hopefully I'll have some footage on that. So be running a Interim Arms 22-250 or my short barrel Mosin on that video, which hopefully comes to fruition. And yeah, hopefully I can share that with you guys later on. And yeah, everybody have a good night.
Now, do you have tactical nukes for that?
No, but I kind of wish I did, because it gets a little rough when you get 2 or 3 coming in at the same time and there's only about 1 or 2 guys with you.
I mean, the fallout from a tactical nuke that size isn't going to be too much, right?
No, if you could keep it underneath of a kilo, I think it'd be all right, as long as you were about 300 to 400 yards out.
And you would have coyote jerky. I don't know if that would be any good or not, but you would.
Definitely wouldn't be able to sell the hide off of it, that's for sure.
This is true. You know, if you got a bounty, you still might be able to get the bounty for the ear, depending on where you hit it.
Yeah, that actually, there's a great big coyote calling deal that's going to go on here in second weekend of January, and my buddy asked me if I wanted to do that, and I'm still kind of on the fence about that, because there's kind of some cheating stuff that goes on with that, but we've got quite a bit of ground that we can cover in a day if we really want to do it. So I'm thinking about doing it this year. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Okie doke. What about you, Squibby?
Good night.
Short and sweet. I like it. Right. And with that, we will bid you all adieu for this week, and we will catch you all later. This is where you throw out your taglines, folks.
Stay safe. Carry your weapon.
Bah humbug.
Use a tactical nuke, and then you don't have to mag dump that deer.
Claymore.
Claymore, yeah, that might work. Now, are we talking Claymore to mine or Claymore to sword?
To hunt.
Either would work.
The mine. The mine.
Well, the sword would work too. I mean, just lob that deer's head right off. Anyway, bye, folks. End this now before we go down another rabbit hole.